Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hello. How are you doing today? Hold on. Well, okay. There we go. I had to change my noise gate just a little bit. It was a little too ridiculous. There we go. Well, I'm glad I checked. I did change things up a little bit on how things were set up because I was trying to get things set up for my Ableton. Wait, let me just check how loud this music is. Turn that down a bit. Okay, welcome back. Day later. Crazy, right? Yes, I know. My bad. Oh, man. How did that get to plus 11? Oh, I see. That's crazy. Let me just check the sound one more time before we get back into this. Okay, cool. Just making sure it works. Okay, tight. All right, today what we're gonna do, I started trimming one of the plants and I figured I might as well just do it live and kind of see what's going on. Now, when I switch over to this other camera, it's just gonna be me chopping. It's gonna be kind of boring for most of you, but again, most of this growing stuff is for me. However, if it helps you out, cool. I really hope, you get something out of it. If you have questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I will try to look over it every once in a while to see, if anybody's posted anything. However, before I get started, I am going to do a dab. I just spilled coffee all over my my desk. And I'm pretty sure I got it all cleaned up. But I spilled it all in my keyboard. Not good. So, I'm a little on edge at the moment. Just got done cleaning it. I wanted to go live a while ago, but due to circumstances and idiocracy on my part, I fucked all that up. So, if you got a dab and you're of age and you're able to medicate, cheers. We'll cheers together. Again, this is for educational purposes only, for medical patients and people that just want a little more information on stuff, I try to help out the best I can, but, I am still human. That being said, it's a fat dab with some THCA on there. I don't know if you could really tell. You can see the whiteness on there. Oh, hi. Oh, okay. All right. Now that we are all medicated, get a sip of coffee and we'll get going on this. Now, my last video from yesterday, I did say, I'm sorry, that I did not want to cut these or chop them. However, under the circumstances and looking at these things and certain things I needed to happen, I had to cut them, especially, well, on both, pretty much. I'll go over that in a minute. Let me switch to the other camera. Now, this is going to be a view from the top of the plant. Let me just reset it up a little bit because the camera is, I put on one of those arms that hold the cameras up. Okay, that's pretty good. If the camera falls, you'll still be able to see stuff. So without further ado, we transition on over to the above weed cam. Now this is the plant on the right side when you're looking in at the tent. So without further ado, now just to give you an idea, this is what I had to chop off the other plant. I cut off a lot of stems like this, kind of in the way, or that were just down below, that weren't going to do the plant any kind of good. So we're going to have to do a lot of that stuff probably on this. Without further ado, let's start chopping some shit off and see what we can make happen. Now, my goal here is to take off a lot of the top stuff. So, well, I want to get the lower stuff some light. Wow, that is a healthy ass leaf. All right, there's so much going on here. It's gonna take me a minute to kind of. Now I am gonna cut off a lot of lower branches, stuff that I don't necessarily need to be on the plant. Stuff that's gonna slow the growth down of the So right now, let me see what you can see. So this stem I'm working on right now, right here below my scissors, I need this to catch up with everything else. So I am going to make sure that light can penetrate down and get to that. And also, I'm cutting off any kind of side growth that's on here because I want all of the energy I want to go to this tip right here. So everything else can kind of pound salt and be figured out. But for me, that's what I need at the moment. And then it's a matter of, I'm going to probably just end up bending this over to the side a little bit. Cut this off. But yeah, again, you just kind of I want to see what I'm working with over here. Cut this off. But there's a lot going on this plant right now. So this one, I didn't get a lot of the underneath inner parts. I got some of it, but this thing was so dense and so close together, it was a hassle. It was a struggle. All right. But this one is growing so good. Like, I have so far no complaints on this plant whatsoever. Now, another reason I got these auto pots is for this reason right here. Because right now, what I am able to do, while it's in here without disturbing any of the main function, I could just twist this pot around and be able to get to parts of the plant and take care of parts of the plant. And it's just very nice to be able to do this and not disturb any of the auto pot functions in the process. But man, this thing is doing really, really good. Like, I cannot believe how good this is doing, honestly. Alright. We're just going to kind of start with the outside and kind of work our way inwards. I'm going to try to address all the lower inner growth that I can while I twist it around here. Oh man, there's just so much going on up here. Such a dense canopy. Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah, so there's a lot, like this branch right here, below my fingertip is the top of a branch. And it just wasn't getting any light. So when you got something this thick, this dense, you're gonna have to do some work on a regular basis. But that being said, like, I don't mind doing this. It's fun to kind of play with your plant a little bit. Oh man, I could probably bend Let me just check the camera, see where we're at. All right, cool. You can still see what I'm doing, all right. Alrighty. But yeah, there's a lot of undergrowth in here that I need to take care of for sure. Ooh, there's a lot. Man, this one's gonna need to bulk up quick. This is just out there. Let's see, so I'm gonna have to twist it a little more. But there's a lot of this lower stuff that, you know, well, yes, this looks pretty cool. It's not gonna do the plant any good being down below. It's just gonna actually use more nutrients and take up more valuable stuff than it's gonna help with. So it's better to just kind of get rid of that if you don't need it, which now I don't need it anymore. I did before, but it's past that time. So I can't wait to show you this pile of leaves that I have from both of the plants. Maybe it was right there. All right. But while this seems kind of like a terrible thing to be doing right now, it's actually healthy and good for your plant. And especially taking off a lot of the lower growth, because the lower stuff, like if it was, let's see if you can see my finger. So if it was down below on this stem down here, growing out, that's going to be taking up time and nutrients away from actually stiffening up the stem, making it bigger and stronger. So the nutrients can be better spent in a different part of the stem. So you want to make sure, if you're going for thick bottoms, you want to make sure that everything is cut all the way down until like the top of the plant almost. Now you don't do all that right away, obviously. Little by little, as it grows, you can kind of do stuff. Because if you do too much, you're gonna fuck the plant up. Do it too soon, you're gonna fuck the plant up. So there's a right way, place, and time to be doing stuff. Now I'm sure, as you can see, this thing is thinning out real quick, but that's, again, by design and what we want. Because pretty soon, when this starts flowering, it's gonna need to be very strong down here. Very, very strong. And you know, I still might actually like pull down a couple branches a little bit. But like, they're growing so close together, it's kind of hard to get to some of these inner stems. But I'm gonna try, damn it. I'm gonna try. But I'm not doing too bad of a job here. But there's just so much going on, it's hard to kind of like focus, and I'll be working on one branch and then it's like, oh, I see this thing over here, I'm gonna cut it. So I cut that thing and then it's like, well, piss. And I just move to a different part and start messing with that. But that's how it goes, and that's, you know, part of the fun with doing all this too. But this is, for me, you know, not streaming anyway. It's a pretty therapeutic getaway. Now, like, look at this thing. You know, not big, not small, but it's still taking up valuable nutrients, and I don't need this to grow. So all this growth was for nothing. So that's why you kind of want to be on top of what's going on the inside of your plant. Because again, that could have all went Let me just change the camera angle a little bit here. Hopefully that'll be a little better. Let's see. I think so, but don't quote me. I'll keep checking in on the cans. Let me take a sip of coffee. Ooh, okay. Definitely out of shape. Sitting like a frog for extended periods of time is not the most fun thing to do. So again, when doing this, and I don't do this specifically in this order all the time, but realistically, you kind of want to start from the outside and work your way in. It just makes sense. Otherwise, you're going to be like trying to pull stuff apart, trying to get in here, like can't see shit kind of deal. But, man, I seriously cut so much off of this not too long ago. And there's already just so much to be taken off this plant right now. It's pretty crazy. Not gonna lie, it's pretty crazy. My wife. Like, all this stuff I'm cutting off. You know, at one time it definitely helped my plant out for sure. But then it gets to a point where it's just like a liability almost kind of thing. It's not that crazy, but like this, another waste of growth and energy for the plant. But it's okay. It's okay. There is so much going on in here. Alright. What do we got? Definitely a little time consuming doing this, especially when you gotta trim a whole ass bush. Alright, let's turn this around the other way a little bit here. And there's some stems I'll look at and just like, they're just not worth keeping. Like, I'm just gonna get rid of that guy. And sometimes you just gotta do it. But there's so much leafage on my floor right now. It's pretty ridiculous. Not gonna lie. But this whole side of the plant that I'm working on right now has been doing phenomenal. Actually, you know what? I actually think I'm gonna cut this stem off, which I did. I did it. So big ass stem that I was keeping, but it's just gonna be in the way after looking at this now. So it's just better not being there. And again, sooner we do it, the sooner it can stop taking up precious nutrients of the plant and it could go elsewhere. Right. You know what? We actually don't need this one either. Or this one. There's enough going on over here. And that's another thing about having a bunch of tops too, is that if you want, you could chop a couple off and it's not really gonna mess anything up. And you can always double your tops again later, depending on how far you are away from flowering. But I have a pile of leaves in front of me. An insane, giant ass pile. Like, seriously, like, big ass stems that I don't eat anymore. Throw it on the floor. Get that inside stem. There's so many little guys inside, it's hard to tell where they're coming from. I see you. Oh man, yeah, there's a lot of little guys in there. So, I don't know how, I'm not that in tune with how this shit works with YouTube and shit, but if you can rewind a live stream, go back and check out the beginning of this and then look at this now. It is kind of crazy how much is being taken off. But again, it's for the betterment of all of this. But especially the one I'm working on now, I didn't really do a good job on the inner guts, so to speak, of getting these super baby mini stems off. Only because I didn't mind if this one kind of was slow, because I wanted the plant on the left to be able to kind of catch up to this one. Because this one was so far ahead that, I was doing every little thing I could kind of make sure this would kind of be close to where that one would be. And another challenge is with using all these orange things, it's hard to get in some of these places and cut some of this shit off. I'm getting close to done. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting close. But it's just crazy. Again, not everybody does this. And some people only do this like once or twice. But I kind of do this a whole lot of times. But, I've had some pretty good results in my past doing what I'm doing. However, I've never done it to this extent where this thing has been such a crazy bush this soon. But it's okay. It is quite all right, and I'm enjoying this whole process. So yeah, I'm sure by now you guys can see. And again, if you're just tuning in, right now I'm just kind of trying to get everything from the base of this plant basically to the tips. I'm just going to leave the tips of most everything in here, but like a lot of little undergrowth and things that are taking away from everything of this plant, I am going to take it off. Like this little guy. Buried. Let me put it in my hand so you can see it. Buried down below. Barely could see it. Again, just taking nutrients away from this plant as a whole. So, don't need it. Gone. Gone, she's gone. Oh, why? Because she's eating all the fucking nutrients up. She's gone. Oh, why? And like there's also some that are just starting to grow that I'm going to try to nip in the bud while I can right now while I'm in here. Because this is not a thing I want to be doing all the time, is like chopping on my plant. However, with how close these nodes are, I've had to do this so much. And again, I don't know if it's the auto plants or the nutrients, but this thing is it's doing too good. Too good. So, I find myself having to be in here cutting quite a bit off, a lot. But I also do this to thicken up these stems for when we go to flower Now, man, I don't have many pull down thingies left. But some of these can definitely be bent out to give room to the rest of what's growing. And I think I have a couple. Let me look. Oh, yeah, they're right here, right next to me. Oh, I do have. Okay, I have more than I thought I had. Sweet. Let me take a sip of coffee here. Now, there is already an orange thing on here. However, I want to put another one on. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go hard with it. Ooh. Actually, that's going to snap it. Too much. Okay. There we go. So it might be a little off camera, but I basically just pulled this branch down, stretched it out, so now it's going to be a little bit more out there. Actually, I think I'm going to do it with a couple of these while I got them here. But when you go to bend a branch, if you're watching what I'm doing, you got to kind of slowly like get it there and just like massage it till it kind of is bending where you want it to bend. And then you put your guy on there and boom, good to go. So that's cool. I didn't think I'd be doing much more bending, but based on how much of a cluster there is right in the center, there's one more I'm gonna bend in there. Well, I'm glad I still had all these. Alright, so there we go. That's actually perfect. That is actually perfect. Alright, cool. Let's take another sip of coffee and get back to trimming. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to chime in and ask, because I will do my best to let you know what I know, if I know. Alright, so where are we at here? Alright. Cool beans, cool beans. We are getting there together. Ooh, we're getting there, brother. Now, there's one that I kind of just want to cut out of there. It is very far behind the rest. Is that a main offshoot? Oh, you know what? No, I'll fuck this thing. Oh, but can I get in there? Haha. Fuck this thing. Look, one that snuck by me. So this is all the way from the bottom. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just one of those ones that was just a little too far behind, and it was kind of just making me nervous, kind of. Not nervous, but just like, I don't want to have to keep trying to play catch up with that. However, what I'm going to use this for right now is like a cut off weed leaf broom. Oh, that works very well. And actually, that's going to help a lot with some of this inside stuff. Ow! But I am getting rather close to the end of this trimming venture. Man, I see so many on the other side now that I could probably get to. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry, plant. Where's that tall, skinny one? Oh, I see you. I see you, bitch. Got it. The lights are really hard to see. Gotta be at like the right angle. She's gone, oh, wow. Da-da-da. Be-ba-da-ba-doo-ba, she's gone, oh, wow. Oh, here's one. Nice. Now, also keep in mind when you cut this shit off, depending on how you're doing stuff, you don't want to leave these leaves in the bottom of your pot. So there's a lot of cut off little leaves. Now, I don't need this or want this in here because I am wick feeding my plants with the auto pot system. So, basically, I don't want this to start rotting and molding on top of my soil and then running down to the bottom, fucking all that shit up. So, we try to make sure all of that shit is not in here. And, oh wow, that is such a big offshoot. That's just not helping the stem at all. Cool. But yeah, as you do little by little, it'll start opening up and you'll see things you couldn't see before and things that might not be so good for the plant. But man, there's so much little stuff in there still, and I can't tell some of the shit's coming from. Where are you growing from, sir? Holy shit, I can actually see the main stem now. Whoa, this thing is fucking huge! This thing is humongous, holy shit! So I will, when I'm done doing all this, I will pull the camera down and show you guys this beast, this Goliath of a stem. Oh my god, dude. It's fucking huge. And you know, I couldn't really see it myself until right now. And I'm just overly impressed. Auto pots for the win. I will suggest this to anybody every time. You want to grow, get you some of these auto pots, because you will not be disappointed. And what's funny is I saw right after I got these that AC Infinity kind of did their own version of auto pots, and it just doesn't look as good. But you can convert your old wicking system. Oh man, that sucked. You can convert your old wick system AC Infinity things to have a reservoir now, I believe. Something like that. Wow, there's like nothing on this plant anymore. That's okay. But this one is going to be for the better now. Wow, this thing is crazy. This thing is crazy big. This main stem is stupid big. Yeah, I think I'm done. I may have gone a little too hard. But every time I say that, they seem to be okay. Now, what I want to do is kind of look. So technically, this is how the pot should sit. And I want all of this to kind of stretch out. I'm going to have to buy more of these orange clip-on things. Yes. So I want these to meet in the middle. It should be fine. It should be fine how this is, I guess. But like part of me wants to bend some of these outwards. Oh wait, no, I see one more inner stem that's really gonna bother the shit out of me if I don't get it now. Bitch. Yeah, some of these are hard to see until you just kind of see them. It's like, oh yeah, what's up, little guy? Not today. So, should I bend this out? Yeah, I feel if maybe I just kind of like bend it like this a little bit. You know what? We're just gonna leave it. We are just gonna leave it. There are some little ones down here, and then there's some that are up here. So if you can see how close that is from the camera, the difference of the height. But it's not too bad. Let's grab some of this shit out of here. Yeah, so let me grab these leaves out. Let me turn this pot back around. I think I'll just leave it as it is for now. And we'll see what happens. Let's turn it back to how it's supposed to be. But yes, you see how I'm spinning this right now? And it's not interrupting any functioning of the autopots. Like everything is still working how it's supposed to. Nothing has stopped or gotten fucked up in any way, shape, or form. So, and I highly advise if you're doing what I'm doing and get autopots, when you clean this, don't pull your shit out directly over where the reservoir is. Because you don't want to potentially get like cocoa down in there. Oh no, how am I going to cut that? Got it. But yeah, you don't want to get like cocoa in your reservoir and have it get clogged up. I haven't had anything wrong happen yet. But you know, just kind of trying to make sure I don't. Now, like, there's a cluster of 4 right here. I don't know. Okay, so you can't see. Camera's a little too far down. Hold on. It's a little too far down. I just can't win. Oh, wait, let me turn my tent onto work mode again so that stops shooting out vapor. Now there's a cluster of 4 right here where my fingertips are. Ah, shit. Still not good enough. Whatever. There's a cluster of 4 over here. Then could be a problem. Kind of want to cut off like the thicker of the branch and kind of open it up a little bit. But that is technically the main stalk of the branch. If I cut that, another one's going to take over. Or maybe, oh no, because I widened it. So that's both of them. So technically that one shouldn't even be there. Whatever, it's fine. All right, let me just take this camera out now and show you guys all this crazy shit. Okay. So, this is what we've done to her. Now this is the other one. You can actually see inside of it now, but I wanted to clear it for these guys because I'm trying to catch this one, and this one. Just trying to catch them up to the rest of these. Now these are still growing mighty fucking fast. Oh, let me actually turn this. Like, look at that fucking big ass stem at the bottom. Like, holy thickness. So when I cloned this the first time, well, the only time really, I had one plant and I cloned it. It was probably like this thick of a stem that I put down in here from the clone. That thing got so fucking fat. Holy shit. But you can see where I pulled a couple more down. And I took a lot off those ones. So it's going to have 2 tops on that. Those are going to grow in. But yeah, so sometimes, now look at this fucking pile. This massive. Look at all this shit. This just came off of both of these plants. Like, look at all this shit. Like, holy crap, dude. But this is the way I found to make these branches really strong, really, more quick than, if you just kind of let them go. So you want some strong, healthy plants. You want them to be really thick bottomed. This is kind of how to go about it. Just kind of low stress train them, bend them a bunch, and we'll just work them around. But as you can kind of see now, it's kind of really spaced out over here until these ones kind of branch out. But by the time they do, it's going to be pretty much flowering time almost. So, yeah, man. So that's, and I'm taking off stems that are pretty big. So, crazy amounts of growth. But again, it's good and, helps the plant out. So I'm expecting some good things. I'm also expecting this to be a little stunted for a while. I did just take a lot off. So probably gonna chill and think about life, and then it's gonna be like, all right, I feel better. I'm just gonna start growing again. Like, I kind of want to bend this one down a little bit over here. Shit, I'm gonna do it. I'll do it after this. But the main point of this video is to kind of show how much I trimmed off. And if you look at everything from yesterday and then today, huge difference. Huge pile. But, I can't imagine I'm going to be doing that many more times before I start flowering, because that's seriously right around the corner. And with what I just did, these things should explosively grow up. So, stay tuned. And, it should get probably even crazier. Crazier and crazier, and now I get to throw all that stuff out for the deer. Yay! Man, I always forget to turn that off. So anyway, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for tuning in. Now you get to see how it was done on the BK side of life. Oh, that light. It makes it suck. It puts the light on his face. But okay. I wonder if there's a way I can go back to my YouTube video, but I don't want to fast forward it because of the audio and explaining things. I guess I'll just keep it. And we're gonna see if my my keyboard still works and stuff after all that. Fuck, I forgot I spilled coffee everywhere. I literally poured a good amount into my keyboard. It was crazy how much poured out of my keyboard. But cool. All right, man. I think I'm done with this video, and I did what I had to do in the tent. Probably pull that one branch down, and call it a day. So until next time, stay tuned and check it out, I suppose. Hang in there till next time. Later, guys. Thanks for tuning in.